The alarm screams at 6 a.m. Your hand slams the snooze button. A silent promise. Just 9 more minutes. 9 minutes become 90. You're awake now, but you don't rise. You reach for your phone. The blue light hits your face. A scroll through a world of people who seem to be doing, achieving, living. While you're in bed, again, you finally stand. The day stretches before you a vast, empty field of potential. And all you feel is the weight. The crushing, invisible weight of everything you should be doing. The project. The workout. The diet. The side hustle. The laundry so you make a deal with yourself. I'll just have coffee first. Get my mind right. Then it's breakfast. Then maybe just one episode of that show. To really get motivated, the sun climbs. The morning passes. The window of peak mental clarity gone. Traded for cheap dopamine and hollow entertainment. Here is the painful paradox of modern life. You have more freedom to design your day than any generation in history. And yet, you are less capable of commanding your own actions. You are both the prisoner and the warden. The slave and the master, who refuses to give the order. This is not mere procrastination. This is a spiritual crisis, a rebellion of the self against the self. For 700 years, the samurai of Japan faced a question that cuts to the core of this paralysis. How do you act with decisive power when every instinct screams to retreat, to rest, to hide? Their lives and their honor depended on the answer. They codified their solution, not in a book of tips, but in a way of being, Bushido, the way of the warrior. But this was not about war. It was about warriorship over one's own nature, over the cowardice of comfort, over the treason of tomorrow. When you combine the unyielding mindset of the samurai with the neuroscience of habit formation, you unlock the ability to command your days, to move from being a passenger of your impulses to the general of your actions. But here's the problem. Your environment is engineered for seduction, not discipline. Your brain is wired to seek the path of least resistance. Every time you choose the couch over the challenge, you aren't just losing a day. You are digging the grave of your potential with your own hands. You are reinforcing a neural pathway that screams, you are weak. You are a negotiator. You cannot be trusted. Let me tell you about Leo. He is 29 years old, a data analyst. He crunches numbers to predict consumer behavior, yet he cannot predict his own behavior for the next hour. His apartment is a museum of good intentions. A yoga mat rolled neatly, dust gathering on its edges. A blender for the morning smoothies he never makes. A bookshelf of unread self-help books, their spines uncracked. His most consistent ritual is ordering takeout and feeling shame as he closes the door to the delivery person. He made $68,000 a year, enough to be comfortable in his misery, not enough to be free from it. His greatest skill was rationalization. I work hard. I deserve to relax. Tomorrow, I'll turn it around. His internal dialogue was a sophisticated court of appeals where every lazy verdict was upheld. You're tired from work. It's raining outside. You need to research the best workout plan first. Starting on Monday makes more sense. The shame wasn't in the laziness. It was in the gap between his self-image and his reality. He saw himself as a person of depth, of capability. In his mind's eye, he was fit, fluent in a second language, playing guitar at parties. But in the mirror, a soft body, a monoglot, hands that had never formed a G chord. The catalyst was not a dramatic failure. It was a slow, suffocating accumulation of evidence. It was a Saturday. His younger sister, Maya, was visiting. She was 23, a rock-climbing instructor, bursting with a vitality that seemed to mock him. She wanted to go on a hike. Just a small one, she said. Leo agreed. 20 minutes in, his lungs burned. His legs, atrophied from 1,000 sedentary hours, trembled. He had to stop, hands on his knees, gasping. His sister, concerned, offered him water. "You okay, Leo?" He nodded, forcing a smile. But in her eyes, he didn't see judgment. He saw something worse, pity. She saw the ghost of the strong older brother she remembered. That night, back in his apartment, the silence was deafening. He stood before the full-length mirror on his closet door, really looked. Not a glance, but a study. The softness around his middle, the defeated slope of his shoulders, the eyes that held no fire. A single clear thought cut through the mental fog. I am not living. I am waiting. And I am running out of time to wait. That was his dark night of the soul. Not on a mountain, but in his bedroom. Surrounded by the artifacts of the person he promised to become. Facing the man who had broken every promise. Desperation, when it finally arrives with clarity, is a ruthless and effective teacher. Leo didn't want another life hack. He wanted an operating system for a new life. His search led him not to a modern guru, but to a retired U.S. Marine Corps historian, a man named Colonel James Jim Bennett, who had devoted his post-service life to studying the intersection of military, discipline, and Eastern philosophy. Jim didn't live in a dojo, but in a sparse, orderly cabin in the woods. The first thing Leo noticed was the silence. Intentional, heavy, like a held breath. Jim served tea, not with ceremony, but with a soldier's efficiency. He looked at Leo, not through him, and asked his first question. What is the one mission you are abandoning daily, that if you accomplished it, would change the entire battlefield of your life? Leo stammered. Getting fit. Building a business. I don't know. It all feels impossible to start, Jim interrupted, his voice quiet but absolute. You are listing objectives. I asked for a mission. A soldier does not fight for a list. He fights for a purpose that makes the list irrelevant. Why do you want to be fit? To look better. Feel better. Wrong, Jim said, not unkindly. That's a decoration. Dig deeper. What does that fitness represent? What cowardice does it allow you to finally confront? This began Leo's education in the Trinity, the three interconnected forces of Bushido, that transform intention into irrevocable action. Asterisk first, the core mindset. SEISHIN, the fighting spirit. This is not aggression. It is unbreakable resolve. SEISHIN is the cultivation of an inner citadel, so fortified that external circumstances, fatigue, fear, boredom, pain cannot dictate your actions. Jim called it the officer's mind in the private's body. It is the decision, made once and for all, that you are no longer negotiable with yourself. Your laziness, Jim said, is a negotiation. You barter with a traitor. SEISHIN executes the traitor at dawn. Second, the evolution framework. Giri, the weight of duty. This is your chain of command. Not to a lord, but to your own future self, to your family, to your potential. Giri is the unbearable weight of obligation that makes inaction more painful than action. It is the understanding that your life is not your own to waste. Jim framed it brutally. You think you owe yourself rest. You are wrong. You owe the man you could become a life of effort. You owe the people who believe in you proof that their faith was not misplaced. That debt is called Giri, and it is non-negotiable. Third, the daily system. Kufu, the art of tactical cunning. This is the mechanical genius. The samurai did not just charge. They studied terrain, used clever stratagems, turned weaknesses into strengths. Kufu is the application of SEISHIN mindset through the lens of Giri duty as a daily, winnable campaign. It is not about working harder. It is about designing smarter defaults. It is making the right action the path of least resistance. Jim bridged this to modern science. He cited Stanford neuroscientist Andrew Huberman's work on dopamine and effort, how the brain rewards the anticipation of effort with dopamine, not just the completion. The act of moving toward a challenge is itself chemically rewarding. He referenced Dr. Carol Dweck's growth mindset, how viewing discipline as a muscle to be trained, not a fixed trait, changes everything. He mentioned the habit loop research from Charles Duhigg and the power of implementation intentions, if-then planning, studied by psychologist Peter Gallwitzer. The Trinity is an iron cycle. SEISHIN gives you the unwavering command. Giri gives you the non-negotiable reason. Kufu is the clever maneuver you execute. Today, Leo began in Shu, the obedience phase. It was humiliatingly simple. His first order from Jim: for 1 week, you will do exactly 3 things at exactly these times, no matter what. 5:45 a.m. Feet on floor. No phone. Walk directly to the kitchen. Drink 1 glass of water. 6 a.m. Put on workout clothes. Perform exactly 10 push-ups, 15 bodyweight squats, and a 30-second plank. Form does not matter. Completion matters. 6:10 p.m. Write 3 sentences in a journal. Answer: what one thing did I finish today that I am proud of? That was the entire mission. Not get fit. Not write a novel. Just this tiny, non-negotiable drill. The first morning, the alarm was a physical assault. His mind, the master negotiator, offered brilliant deals. You were up late. Do it at 7 a.m. The rule didn't specify. But SEISHIN, the new, fragile officer in his mind, issued a single command: feet on floor. He obeyed. He drank the water. He performed the pathetic, trembling push-ups. He felt absurd, but this was the frustrating beginning. The progress was invisible. The workout was meaningless for fitness. The journal felt stupid. He was copying the form of discipline without any of its substance, but he obeyed. Giri, the debt drove him. He had told Jim he would do it. To fail would be to break his word to a Marine. That weight was heavier than the weight of his blanket. He began to apply Kufu tactical cunning. He placed his alarm clock across the room. He slept in his workout clothes. He left the journal and pen open on his desk. He made disobedience require more effort than obedience. Around day 40, the shift occurred. It was not a lightning bolt. It was a dawn that arrived after a long, cold night. The ritual had become automatic. The water was drunk. The meager workout was done. The journal was filled. But something had changed around the ritual. Because he was up, he made coffee. Because he was awake and alert, he opened his laptop and worked for 30 minutes before work. Because he had written one finished thing in his journal, he started finishing small tasks at his job, just to have something to write. He was in the stage, the breaking stage. He understood the principle. The 3 tasks were not the point. They were the duty bell, the call to attention for his entire being. They were the morning muster where SEISHIN asserted command. The specific actions were irrelevant. The reaffirmation of command was everything. The breakthrough moment was a Tuesday. It was raining, a classic excuse day. He completed his drill. And then, without drama, without internal debate, he put on a rain jacket and went for a walk. Not because his plan said to, not because Jim told him to, but because his body, now accustomed to morning action, craved it. An action now felt uncomfortable. Progress became undeniable. He had done 40 consecutive days of something. He had pages of journal entries documenting small wins. The 10 push-ups had become 25. The walk had become a run. He was no longer copying a form. He was adapting the principle of non-negotiable morning command to his entire life. 18 months later, Leo no longer practices Bushido. He embodies it. It is his nature the restage. SEISHIN is his default mindset calm command, not frantic willpower. Giri is his compass. He feels a duty to his health, his craft, his community. Kufu is his native tongue. Designs his environment to make excellence inevitable. He identified a business opportunity born from his transformation. He saw other men like his former self smart, capable, but paralyzed by their own negotiation. He didn't create a coaching business. He created a modern dojo, a digital academy built not on motivation, but on the Bushido Trinity. He taught men to build their SEISHIN, define their Giri, and apply Kufu to their careers and health. The scary leap was leaving his $68,000 data job with 6 months of savings to build the dojo full-time. The leap was trusting that the discipline he had forged was a more valuable product than any data analysis he could provide. He was now the mentor. One evening, a frustrated software engineer, drowning in procrastination, came to him. "I can't get started. I waste every evening." Leo didn't give him a motivational speech. He asked him the question, "What is the one mission you are abandoning daily that if you accomplished it, would change the entire battlefield of your life?" The circle was complete. So let us synthesize the Trinity for you. SEISHIN is your command post. It is the cultivation of an unreachable inner authority that issues orders, not suggestions. It is the death of the negotiator within. Giri is your why that won't wither. It is the sacred debt you carry, not a burden that crushes, but a weight that anchors and directs you. It is the reason that makes discipline an act of honor, not deprivation. Kufu is your battlefield cunning. It is the art of making the right action easy and the wrong action difficult. It is outflanking your own laziness with preparation and design. This is not a time management seminar. This is a course in personal sovereignty. You are not fighting laziness. You are establishing a new government within yourself, where your highest self is in permanent command. The modern world is a siege of comfort, designed to soften your resolve. Your morning, your workspace, your routines, these are your castle walls. Your daily drill is your sentry posting dot. So, the transformative question for you is this: what is your one non-negotiable daily mission? Not your dream, not your 5-year plan. The one tiny, repeatable, unbroken chain of command you will issue to yourself tomorrow morning and every morning after, to prove first to yourself that you are under new management. Are you the ghost in the gym, watching your potential gather dust? Are you in the frustrating obedience of Shu, building the muscle of command with trivial drills? Are you in the breakthrough of Ha, where duty becomes desire? Or are you moving toward Ri, where discipline is your dignity? The ultimate truth Leo discovered, the truth every samurai and every sovereign soul learns is this: freedom is not the absence of discipline. It is the exquisite product of discipline applied over time. The freedom to shape your body, your mind, your destiny, is bought daily with the small coin of unyielding action. If this path from lethargy to agency resonates with you, then your next action is clear. Subscribe to Presence in Progress. Each week, we dismantle another pillar of weakness and rebuild it with ancient, tested steel. And in the comments, I want you to declare your first mission. Practice SEISHIN. Answer with clarity. What is the one tiny, non-negotiable action you will execute tomorrow before anything else? Name it, a time, an action. Post it. A public declaration is the first casualty of the traitor within. Take your stand. Unyielding spirit. Sacred duty. Tactical cunning. This is the way of presence. This is the path of progress.